A blank page is where most SOPs die before they are written. You know what the procedure should cover, you know your process, but the moment you have to turn that into a structured document with the right sections, the right level of detail, the right format, it is not obvious where to start. This video gives you the exact structure to use. In the previous video, we covered the principles of SOP writing. What makes a procedure good or bad? This video is the practical companion, the actual build sequence and template structure used by quality teams in regulated industries. You will finish this video with a framework you can use immediately. Before writing a single word, know the structure. Every SOP, regardless of industry, company size, or process complexity, contains the same 8 sections: a header with document metadata, a purpose statement, a scope definition, a responsibility section, materials and equipment, the procedure steps themselves, references, and a revision history. We will build each one in sequence. Section 1 is the header. Every SOP needs a unique document number, a version number, and an effective date. Without these 3 fields, you cannot manage document control. You cannot tell which version is current when it was last updated, or which version an employee was trained on. The header is where version control lives. Section 2 is the purpose statement. 1 sentence. It answers why this procedure exists and what outcome it ensures. The weak version says this SOP describes the process. The strong version states the specific task, the specific action, and the specific quality outcome. If a new employee reads only the purpose statement and nothing else, they should understand exactly what this procedure is for. Section 3 is the scope. Scope defines the boundaries. Where does this procedure start? Where does it stop? And who does it apply to? Include the specific departments, roles, products, or systems covered. Be equally explicit about what is not covered. This prevents the SOP from being applied to situations it was never designed for. Section 4 is responsibilities. This section maps each role involved in the procedure to their specific obligation. A critical rule: assign responsibilities to roles, not to named individuals. People leave, get promoted, or change positions. An SOP that says John Smith verifies the result is out of date the day John transfers departments. An SOP that says the quality technician verifies the result stays current, regardless of who holds that role. Section 5 is materials and equipment. List everything the operator needs before starting step 1. Reagents, equipment, PPE, forms, reference documents. If something on the list is unavailable or requires substitution, that event needs to be documented before the procedure continues. An undocumented substitution in a regulated environment is a deviation waiting to be discovered. Section 6 is the procedure steps, the core of the SOP, a few rules that separate steps that work from steps that create variation. Number every step. Never use bullet points for procedural steps because operators need to reference specific step numbers when something goes wrong. 1 action per step. If a step contains the word "and," it probably needs to be split into 2. Use active voice throughout. Include explicit decision points. If the result exceeds the upper limit, go to step 14, rather than leaving routing to the operator's judgment. And note record requirements at the exact step where the record is generated, not at the end. Sections 7 and 8 are references and revision history. References lists every document this SOP links to, related SOPs, specifications, regulatory citations, and forms. In medical devices, ISO 13485 explicitly requires documented procedures for key quality processes. Your references section is where that regulatory linkage lives. Use document numbers, not just titles. Titles change, numbers do not. Revision history is a table with 1 row per revision. Version number, date, author, and a summary of what changed. Never delete old rows. In a regulated environment, the revision history is part of the audit trail. One more thing about building from scratch. Write in this order: purpose and scope before steps, because you cannot write accurate procedure steps until you have defined what the procedure is for and who it applies to. Skipping to the steps first is the single most common reason SOPs come back from review with fundamental scope problems. When the draft is complete, it enters review. The writer is not the right person to catch their own errors. Get the draft in front of the subject matter expert who performs the task, and a quality reviewer who checks for completeness, compliance alignment, and document control requirements. A first draft is not an SOP. It becomes one after review, approval, and training. Creating an SOP is the easy part. The harder problem is maintenance. Who triggers a review when a process changes? Who ensures old versions are removed from circulation the day a new one is approved? Who tracks which employees were trained on which version and whether they need retraining after revision? Most compliance findings related to SOPs are maintenance failures, not writing failures. Building an SOP from scratch is a one-time task. Controlling it over its full lifecycle, revisions, approvals, version distribution, linked training records, is a system problem. That gap is where most compliance findings originate. eLeaP manages the full lifecycle. Approval workflows, version control, automatic retraining triggers when a document is revised, and a linked audit trail connecting every SOP version to every trained employee. See the link in the description. Subscribe for more quality management and compliance content. Next up, the SOP template. A ready-to-use, fill-in-the-blank document your team can apply to any procedure starting today.